All right. So, uh, the two of them walked out. Sasha Banks and Naomi. I really never knew much about Sasha Banks. Hell, the first time that I saw Sasha Banks, I thought that she was white. I thought she was white. You know, I thought she was a white girl. But it turns out that Sasha Banks is not. She's actually black. The walkout with her and Naomi was a strategy. And I'm saying this so that everybody can know what exactly is going on right now, with the WWE, the Women's Tag Team Championship, etc., etc. The storyline of Sasha Banks and Naomi, they have a lack of respect. Yeah, there's always been a lack of respect in the WWE in wrestling. Hell, man, I remember when people was getting paid $15 to wrestle. And they traveled from city to city, getting paid $15, $25. They just now raised it up to where some wrestlers are making $50 a night, $50 a show. Now you see why I never went into wrestling, because I quit wrestling because I'm not finna get no brick thrown upside my head, no bottle busted over my head, no chair put on top of my head, people jumping on top of me from the top rope and throwing me out of a ring and bleeding and cutting myself with razor blades and all this stuff that goes on inside the federation, and you only getting a mere $30. I remember when wrestlers was calling me on the phone, can I help them with some gas money after they went and go do a show? You know what I'm saying? That's how that struggling process is. See, a lot of people will talk shit about me, but you shouldn't be able to say my name if that's the case, because I helped you. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of them wrestlers was broke as fuck. A lot of, just like music, you know what I'm saying? A lot of wrestlers are broke as hell, man. A lot of people, you go into wrestling, you really doing it off the strength of you, for whatever reason you want to do it for. You're not going to become a superstar anytime soon. Wrestling is a federation. It's scripted, okay? But you can seriously get injured. I've seen with my own two eyes how wrestlers who called themselves superstars, yet they never been to the WWE, suffer from concussions, contusions, you know what I'm saying, etc., etc. Broken arms, broken legs, had to call the ambulance, you know what I'm saying, a few times. With wrestling, you can seriously get hurt. Now, them walking out, as I said before, was a strategy. It was a strategy. It was strategic. With them surrendering their titles, they never lose it. They surrendered their titles, they turned it over, they walked out. let's call it a vacation. Okay, they got suspended, so it's an indefinite suspension, but they are going to get paid for whatever they have to get paid for because they were under contract prior to all this. You have to understand that. So whatever money that they have coming to them is going to have to uh, be sufficient until they can get back in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Those are called endorsements. Now, can they survive off of their endorsements until they get back in the ring? We don't know. I don't know another person's financial situation. You know what I'm saying? So, check this out. I do know for a fact that a lot of people are broke who are wrestlers. I know that for a fact. I see the kind of car that they really drive. I see the apartments that they really live in. You know what I'm saying? Check this out and pay attention. When they come back, and they will return to the ring because the WWE really needs them to. Naomi and Sasha Banks. They need the both of them. Reason being because, like I said, WWE is about making history. Making history in the sport of entertainment. That's what they're about. WWE made history with Hulk Hogan versus Sylvester Stallone on a movie called The Rocky. Okay, Rocky 2. So WWE has always been about trying to make history. Now, the two of them come back. They have a few matches, and then they go back and win the women's tag team championship again. Now they become the two-time women's tag team champion. Now that's history in the making. Mark my words, because when they return, and they will, they win the tag team champions again, then everybody's going to be saying what I'm already saying, what I've been saying all along. For years, I say it, and then when it gets manifested, everybody jumps on board. It's been that way with a lot of different things, on a lot of different issues. I don't trip. I just know what I know. You know what I'm saying? I just am who I am, and I be who I be. I let you be who you are. Simple and plain. Isn't that the way of the world? You be who you are, I be who I am. Isn't that the way things supposed to be? All right. But it really ain't. It really ain't. We have a habit of trying to critique somebody else's life. We have a tendency to try to critique somebody else's life. You know what I'm saying? We have a tendency to critique somebody else's life to the way we see fit. You know, your lifestyle is not up to par. Somebody tries to critique you, get you up to a certain, I've done it, get you up to a certain level, help you out, you know what I'm saying, throw you a bone, open up doors, You know what I'm saying? Somehow, some kind of way a way is made after all the praying and all the planning and support from whatever that you need, all the help. Then you become the person that you are, and then all of a sudden your success takes off. Then someone like me who's helped you along the way, we're proud of you. You know what I'm saying? And then you allow your success to come to your head, and you start to, become the monster that you really are on the inside. You can't help that. You know what I'm saying? Really deep down inside, truth be told, you can't help how people really are. You don't know what a person really going to do. You can suspect it. You can suspect it. You can anticipate it. You can see it, but you can't stop somebody from becoming who they really truly are on the inside. You know what I'm saying? And especially when they feel like they on top of the world and you're beneath them. But then, you know what I'm saying? The thing about it is, no matter how many people you help in this world, there's always going to be someone that's going to turn around and say, you know what? I did this all on my own. And if you have a talent and your talent is not being successful or whatever, and somebody give you some help, generally nobody can take away from your talent. That's your talent. So yeah, inevitably, yeah, you did it on your own. But for some reason you were being held back and you needed an extra push. You needed an extra hand. You needed some help. You needed some assistance. You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, they called me. They called me. And 9 times out of 10, I was there to help people. You know what I'm saying? Always. I've always been, that type of person. I help people, You know, wrestling, you know. What do I think about wrestling? I think that wrestling can bring a whole new light to people. I think that's what it can do. But as far as martial arts, you might do some spectacular moves, but you know, inevitably you're not really intentionally trying to hurt somebody. Your intentions is not really trying to hurt somebody. You're trying to give off the appearance of pain. You're trying to give off the appearance of a fight, you know. But truly deep down inside, you're really friends. You see what I'm saying? You're not really trying to inflict pain and destruction and death or whatever the case may be. Because in martial arts, we don't train like that. That's not our mentality. We don't train to not hurt people. If we have to defend ourselves, people get hurt badly. You know what I'm saying? Real bad. Real bad injuries. You know what I'm saying? Those are real bad injuries right there. You don't get a chance to really come back and say, hey, let's do this again. With a martial artist, you can be in your grave, homie. So that's why I said the reason why I was not able to go into wrestling, because my mentality as a martial art, I would have really truly hurt somebody, especially getting slammed on top of my head like that, or somebody hitting me with and on top of that, I'm military and I train boxing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've worked with real swords. I've thrown real shurikens, real knives. I work with real knives, real swords, real pistols, real M16s, a real Navy ship. It was nothing scripted on what I do. So It was the reason why I was like, I'm not going through with this wrestling because uh, I saw myself really hurting somebody very badly, and to keep that from happening, you know, I just decided not to go into wrestling to be a wrestler. Now, Sasha Banks, Naomi, they come back, they'll be making history again. They get the championship again, they're tag team champions again. They made history, you know, again, two-time, the second time. So keep that in mind, keep that in mind, keep that in mind. And in all things, before I end this, let's just end it on a good note. You know, business is business, friends is friends, money is money. When you're doing all three of them at the same time, somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's feelings going to get hurt, you know. But when you got business, you got money, you got friends tied all up in one whop. You know what I'm saying? You got one whop, okay? Business, money, and friendship. Okay, somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's feelings is going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get slighted. Somebody's going to have more screen time than the other. I've been through it, especially with music. You know what I'm saying? Some people would be like, "Oh man, you're not putting me in the studio and putting me on your tracks like you really need to be." And I'm like, "Look, this album is my album. I can't have if I'm coming out with an album and this is a solo album because I'm a solo artist. I was never I was I was never a rap duet. I was never in a group. You know, I was always a solo artist. You know, I was never really in a band. I've always been my own, did my own, made my own. You know what I'm saying? When I did shows, I planned it. When I went to go tour, I put it together. When I put people on stage, I paid for it. When I promoted, I did the work, footwork. I got out there on the streets passing out flyers. I got on the radio station putting my voice out there. I got into people's faces. You know, can I use your venue, your stage? Can I do this? Can I do that? That was all me. I didn't call nobody else. Hey man, I need you to go do this. Hey man, I need you to go do that. If anything, I call you and say, hey, I got this date, I got this show, I got this venue, I got this, and this is what I'm supposed to get paid, and I need you to be there. And if you can't be there, then the show goes on. Plain and simple. Simple and plain. You know what I'm saying? Like you on the show with me because I'm telling you to your face, hey, I need you to come through the show. And if not, then I have to carry on without you. Now, how many times have that happened? Plenty. How many times have I put people in the studio? Plenty. How many times have I put people on tour? Plenty of times. How many times have I put people on stage? Plenty. How many times have I put all kind of stuff together for music? Plenty of times. For wrestling? Plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is business, friendship, and money all in one whop. Somebody's going to get slighted. Somebody's going to get hurt. Feelings are going to get hurt. The point is, can you carry on despite or in spite of everything that's happening? Can you still carry on with the business? Because friendships fade away. They do. People no longer be friends no more. They cool, but they not as close friends as they used to be because people grow older. You know, people grow out of touch. You know what I'm saying? And your life happens to move on. You know, there's this thing that we misconstrue loyalty with uh, a false sense of imprisonment when you're talking about, well, I really can't, I'm loyal to the hood. I can't leave the hood. I can't do anything outside the hood. etc., 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 whatever the case may be. You know, whatever the case may be. And then you start feeling the false sense of insecurity, like, man, I can't go back to the hood. People talking, this, that, and the third, whatever. You know, I'm not down no more. You know, etc., etc., etc. All these different things. You know, you as an individual, if you're successful and you're feeling like that, you know, you have to understand one thing. In this world, people are going to always need business. People are always going to need business. Business is always going to thrive. In the Bible, it says that all the way up until the last days, people were buying houses. They was marrying and giving in marriage. That's Matthew the 24th chapter. Okay? It's like they was marrying and giving in marriage. They was buying houses. They was doing this. They was doing that. And all the way up until the flood came. They didn't know and it carried them away. You know what I'm saying? And it destroyed them. The flood destroyed them. It said the last days will be like the days of Noah. You know what I'm saying? So business is always going to be, man. It's always going to be business. In Revelations, it says that he caused all the people of the earth, both rich, poor, the rich and the poor, free and the slave, you know, the young and the old, man, woman, boy, girl, made them all take the mark of the beast, made everybody take the mark of the beast, bow down and worship the image of the beast and the beast that sat upon the so-called throne, the Antichrist. You know what I'm saying? After, in light of all that, in retrospect, you have to understand one thing. Business is always going to thrive, but what side of business are you on? You see what I'm saying? Because there's a side of business where you go beyond reality. What I mean by you go beyond reality, you lose such touch and sight of your creator. You start saying things like, I'm God. You start thinking you're God and all these other things. You know what I'm saying? You worshiping, you know, idols of gold, silver, you know, statues. They have eyes to see, can't see, ears to hear, but can't hear. They have a mouth, but can't speak. These are the things that the world has engulfed themselves in. Magic, and more magic. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of magic. You know, in the Bible in Revelations, it says, hey, man, I'm going to kill you. You know, God said, I'm going to destroy you for magic. For those who practice magic. That's Revelations the 22, chapter 22. 22, verse 16. Verse 17, verse 14, verse 15. Chapter 22. You know what I'm saying? Revelations. God is plainly telling you, you a sorcerer, you witchcraft, you're a witch, you know, you're practicing magic, all these different things, sorcery. He said he's going to destroy you. God said he's going to destroy you for that. Now, you grown, you can do what you want. And can't nobody tell you shit, right? Hey, man, to each his own. Burn in hell, maybe? I don't know. Shit. I really could care less what you do with your life. You know what I'm saying? I can give you advice even though you're not going to take it. I can give you all the advice in the world, you're just not going to take it. But when you see that my advice was the best advice, then they always come back like, damn, man, I wish I had a listen. You know what I'm saying? You knew what you was talking about. You have no idea how many times I've been in that situation where somebody ultimately came back to me and be like, man, you was right all along. You know what I'm saying? Thinking with a level head. Look, It ain't about being a gangster. It's not. It ain't about being a gangster. It is not about being a gangster. Being a gangster has nothing to do with it. Being a blood, being a crip has nothing to do with it. When you're talking about the level of what I'm talking about, being a gangster has nothing to do with it. You need to be connected to your creator, the one that created you, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, the God of Moses. You need to get back to the creator. You need to get back to your creator. Okay? There's only but one God. All right? There's only but one God. There's only one God. I said, and I said, and I said, I don't care if you're Egypt, you believe in all these different things that Egypt believe in, man. I don't care about none of that. I know for a fact that there's only one God, and he's in control. Now, when you have a career and you have a business and you're trying to be successful and you want people to like you, you want people to do business with you, you want you want to become an iconic type of individual